My cherished one, my destined soul, my precious child enveloped in the gentle embrace of celestial breezes that carry whispers from the eternal throne. Do you feel that subtle yet insistent quickening of your heart in this very moment, as if an unseen force is stirring the depths of your being? It is not merely your imagination or fleeting emotion, no, something far more profound and sacred is unfolding around you right here, right now, in the quiet space where you sit or stand. The atmosphere itself is alive with murmurs too soft for earthly ears but resonant in the soul. The vast heavens are slowly parting like a grand curtain, revealing glimpses of glory, and two radiant guardians, luminous beings of pure light and unwavering devotion, are stationed right beside you, one on each side, earnestly pleading, with voices that echo through your spirit, for you not to overlook or dismiss this divine summons that has been prepared specifically for you. Only a handful of precious moments remain before this window narrows. This is no ordinary phrase or clever tactic, it is a sacred countdown, a timer set in motion by the divine realms themselves, ticking with the rhythm of eternity. The two guardians who have been divinely appointed to watch over you, to shield and guide your path, have made countless attempts to draw your attention, to awaken you to this pivotal hour. They have spoken softly in the depths of your dreams, planting seeds of hope and warning. They have brushed against your essence in those inexplicable moments when chills ran down your spine without cause. They have stood vigil by your bedside in the darkest nights, when loneliness pressed heavily and you felt utterly alone in the world. And now, with a gravity that shakes the heavens, they proclaim that this is their final, most urgent attempt to reach you before the opportunity shifts. My precious one, you simply cannot afford to turn away, to close your heart or your eyes this time, for the stakes are eternal. Before I delve deeper into this revelation, permit me to emphasize something of utmost importance that you must hold close. Your arrival at this exact message, your decision to begin reading or listening, is far from accidental or coincidental. There is a profound, divine reason why your soul felt compelled to press forward, to engage with these words at this precise juncture in your journey. There is an intentional purpose woven into why you are here, attuned and present right now, in this fleeting yet fateful instant. And if even the slightest spark, the faintest warmth or stirring ignites within your chest as you absorb this, know with certainty that it is the Divine Himself reaching out, drawing you closer into His boundless love and plan. If your spirit resonates, if you sense deep within that this message is crafted and destined specifically for you, then do not hesitate, remain connected, stay linked to this channel of divine communication. Join us fully, subscribe in whatever way this platform allows, and remain with us, for the guardians will continue to speak, to guide, and to reveal through these ongoing words and messages. But if you choose to skip ahead, to scroll past, or to disengage now, you risk missing the very miracle, the extraordinary breakthrough that these guardians are laboring so fervently to deliver into your life. My cherished, the fabric of time itself seems to tremble with anticipation, vibrating with the weight of what is about to unfold. I, Archangel Michael, the commander of heavenly hosts, step forward now with an urgency that burns like holy fire. I do not speak in exaggeration or lightness, my words are weapons of truth, swords forged in the divine flame, and what I declare here is inscribed with unquenchable fire into the eternal book of destiny that records every soul's journey. If you choose to open your spirit fully, without reservation or doubt, to receive and embrace these words completely, your entire life will bend and transform in ways you have never dared to imagine or dream possible. Blessings that have been held back, delayed by unseen battles or timing, will suddenly rush forward like a mighty river breaking through a dam. Doors that appeared permanently sealed, locked by circumstances or past pains, will not just open, they will break wide apart with divine force. But if you turn away now, if you close this message, if you allow distraction or skepticism to pull you from this sacred encounter, you may not hear or receive the final, crucial words that these guardians are begging, with tears of light in their eyes, to share with you before the moment passes. Do you truly grasp how extraordinarily rare and precious this is? The heavens themselves have orchestrated and counted these seconds meticulously for your sake alone. These fleeting moments carry the immense weight of eternity within them. They hold the potential to completely reshape and renew your home, your physical and emotional health, your family relationships, your financial provision, and the entire trajectory of your future. This is not rooted in superstition or empty hope. This is pure divine timing, a sacred alignment orchestrated by the Creator, and you, my precious one, are standing squarely in the center of it, at the very epicenter of this cosmic shift. You are poised at the absolute edge of a miracle that has been prepared for you since before time began. These two guardians are no distant or unfamiliar entities, they are deeply, intimately connected to your soul's story. One has walked beside you faithfully since the very day you drew your first breath in this world, holding you through terrifying car accidents that could have ended everything, through illnesses that drained your strength, through heartbreaks that shattered your trust and left you feeling irreparable. The other has been dispatched now, in this specific season, on a special, urgent mission directly from the throne to deliver precisely what you have been waiting for, praying for, perhaps even despairing over in your quietest moments. They stand before you now with hands folded in reverent prayer, their wings shimmering with light, whispering earnestly, "Please, beloved soul, do not skip past this. Do not scroll away or dismiss it. Listen attentively, open wide, because what we are about to reveal and release will not be repeated in quite the same way again." And do you know the core of what they are straining to communicate to you in this critical hour? They are proclaiming that the relentless storm that has been circling your life, bringing waves of chaos and uncertainty, is finally reaching its end. The clouds are parting, the winds are calming. They are declaring that the heavy chains of confusion, fear, and stagnation that have held you bound are on the verge of shattering completely. They are announcing that the deep pain inflicted by others, the betrayals, the rejections, the wounds that scarred your heart, will be alchemized, transformed into a crown of honor and victory that you will wear with grace. But they also carry a solemn warning. If you close your ears, your heart, or this message now, you will inadvertently delay what heaven has ordained and prepared to deliver to you tonight, in this very season of your life. My precious one, take a moment to truly imagine this scene vividly in your spirit. A magnificent door glowing with pure golden light stands directly in front of you, radiating warmth and promise. And wonder of wonders, the key to unlock it is already placed firmly in your hand by divine providence. But if you hesitate, if doubt causes you to pause or turn aside, that door may dim and close, becoming far more difficult to reopen in the future. This is the profound meaning and urgency behind these sacred seconds ticking away. That is why I, with all the authority of heaven, beg you earnestly to stay present, to hold on tightly, to open your heart completely and without reservation. Because tonight, yes, this very night, something irreversible and beautiful will begin to shift within your home, your surroundings, your inner world. You may not hear dramatic sounds or see flashing signs at first, but your spirit will recognize the change deep within. You may not notice immediate alterations when you look in the mirror, but your soul will begin to glow with a new, radiant light that cannot be hidden. And very soon, the world around you, people, circumstances, opportunities, will have no choice but to take notice and respond to the transformation taking place in you. My cherished, do you feel that gentle yet persistent trembling in your hands, in your chest, as you continue to hold on to and absorb these words? It is not nervousness or coincidence, it is the powerful frequency of heaven itself touching you, resonating with your spirit in a way that awakens dormant truths. This is no longer a distant dream reserved for others, no longer a story that belongs solely to someone else's testimony or faith journey. It is reaching you personally, intimately, right here in this exact moment where you are, where you sit or stand, where you breathe deeply, where your heartbeat begins to synchronize with the eternal pulse of divinity. These seconds were never meant to be just about the passing of time on a clock. They represent a divine gateway, a sacred portal that is opening exclusively for a chosen soul like yours. And God Himself has personally placed your name upon that golden invitation, sealing it with His unbreakable promise. You may sometimes feel small or insignificant in this vast, swirling universe, but beloved and precious one, you are never forgotten, never overlooked. Your name is carved eternally on the palm of God's hand, and I, Archangel Michael, am bending close, closer than you can imagine, to whisper directly into your spirit, do not give up, do not lose heart, because everything is aligning perfectly at once for your breakthrough. Can you sense that profound silence enveloping you right now? It is not the ordinary, everyday quiet of the world, it is the sacred, pregnant pause that always precedes a mighty and unstoppable announcement from heaven. That holy pause is echoing throughout your entire life story at this moment. All the delays you have endured, all the seasons of waiting that felt endless, all the prayers that seemed to go unanswered, they were never punishments or signs of abandonment. They were deliberate pauses, divine breaths taken before the explosive outpouring of blessings that is now imminent. The two guardians standing protectively before you fully understand your exhaustion, your weariness from the long battle. They have witnessed every tear-soaked night when you cried out in despair, convinced that no one heard, that no one truly cared. But heaven heard every single sob, every heartbroken whisper. Every tear was carefully collected and stored, every unanswered question was recorded in books of light in the heavenly archives. And now, as the divine clock presses inexorably closer to your appointed time, those two guardians are raising their voices with passionate urgency, crying out, "This is our final attempt, do not walk away from what is rightfully and eternally yours, beloved soul. You did not stumble here by mere chance or random scrolling. If your eyes are still moving across these lines, if your heart is still engaged, it means you are already an active participant in the miracle that is actively unfolding around and within you. I invite you now to imagine something truly awe-inspiring, a massive golden book resting in the temple of heaven, far too heavy and sacred for any human hand to lift or open. Within its pages are written the names of those selected to receive sudden, life-altering miracles in this particular season of divine outpouring. And there, glowing with an inner light that cannot be dimmed, is your name, shining brightly among the chosen. Do you find yourself doubting this profound truth? Then allow me to gently remind you of the countless impossible situations you have already survived by divine grace. Recall those moments when death or destruction circled dangerously close but could not ultimately touch or claim you. Remember the times when you believed you had lost absolutely everything: hope, relationships, security, yet somehow, against all odds, a door cracked open. Somehow, an unexpected opportunity arrived just in time. That was heaven's unmistakable handwriting scripting protection and provision into your personal story, my precious child. And now, the very same God who preserved you faithfully through those fierce storms is sending this direct, personalized message straight to your heart. The ending of your story is not destruction or defeat, it is glorious rebirth, renewal, and triumph. Today, Archangel Michael is not merely whispering gentle encouragements. I am commanding with the full authority of heaven, declaring with fiery and unyielding conviction that your long-awaited breakthrough is closer than the very breath resting on your lips. You may naturally wonder why there is such intense urgency, why the emphasis on only seconds remaining. Because, beloved, the measurement of time in the heavenly realms is vastly different from how it feels on earth. What may seem like prolonged hours, days, or even years of waiting to you is, in the spirit realm, the final culminating moment just before the great shift occurs. And your personal shift, your divine turning point, is unfolding right here, right now, in this sacred encounter. The guardians are not being dramatic or overly emotional in their pleas. They do not beg or plead unless something of eternal consequence is genuinely at stake in this precise instant. Their hands are pressed together in fervent intercession, their eyes overflowing with the holy fire of compassion and determination, as they beseech you not to treat this message as just another fleeting post or video on a screen. No, this is your divine lifeline being extended from heaven itself. This is the eternal realm reaching down, saying clearly, grab hold of this truth with both hands, drink deeply from it, or the river of blessing may flow past without you fully partaking in its abundance. I say it again, with even greater emphasis, my cherished one, do not miss this irreplaceable moment. For within the space of your next few breaths, you could step boldly into a life story so glorious, so transformed, that even your former enemies or doubters will be left in stunned disbelief at what they witness unfolding in you. Your destiny is not fragile or easily lost, it is mighty, powerful, and divinely protected. Yet there are fragile, pivotal moments that surround it, moments where distraction, doubt, or delay can temporarily snatch away divine opportunities that were meant for you. That is precisely why I, Michael, the protector of destinies, am here in this message. I am the one who guards sacred paths, who cuts down hidden serpents and adversaries that lurk behind deceptive smiles. I am the one who breaks dark contracts and agreements that were made against your name in unseen realms. And tonight, I have been specifically sent not only to continue protecting you but to reveal hidden truths, because someone, some force of opposition, has been working diligently to delay your blessings, to cloud your mind with waves of doubt, hoping desperately that you would skip or dismiss this exact, critical moment. But God Almighty said a resounding no. God decreed that this message must be delivered, even if it shakes your soul to its core, even if it brings tears streaming down your face, even if it initially fills you with a holy fear or awe. Because heaven would much rather see you shaken awake and alive to your destiny now than to live with the pain of regret forever later. My precious one, can you feel it deep within, that gentle yet powerful trembling stirring in your spirit? That is not ordinary fear or anxiety. That is divine recognition, a holy awakening. It is your soul recognizing that heaven is finally speaking directly to your hidden truths, your unspoken longings, your buried dreams. Beloved, the true subscription or connection of your heart, to faith, to hope, to the divine, is infinitely more important than any digital subscription on a screen. But I still encourage you, stay connected even in this practical way. Subscribe, follow, remain engaged, not for anyone's benefit but your own, because every message that flows through this channel serves as a strong rope thrown from heaven, pulling you steadily higher, reminding you over and over who you truly are, what God is actively doing in your life even when you cannot yet see it. There will inevitably be days when your faith feels heavy, when the weight of the journey threatens to overwhelm you. And in those vulnerable moments, one timely message, one divine reminder, one single word from heaven could be the very thing that prevents you from collapsing entirely. Stay near to this source. Stay connected, bound by choice and intention, because Archangel Michael does not knock with this level of intensity forever. When the appointed time fully arrives and the window begins to close, only those who have chosen to stay close, to remain watchful and open, will receive the full, unhindered outpouring of what has been promised and prepared. Let your spirit make that commitment today, not just a quick click with your finger, but a deep inner alignment with your heart, your faith, your unwavering willingness to believe that miracles are not only real but are specifically intended for you. My precious child, do you sense that mounting pressure of time pressing ever closer, like the steady, undeniable beat of a drum that your heart cannot possibly ignore? That sensation is not anxiety or stress, it is the sacred rhythm of heaven itself echoing through your veins, awakening every part of your being. You were not meant to merely stumble or wander into this transformative moment by accident. You were divinely carried here, guided step by step through every previous challenge. Every delay you faced, every obstacle that arose, every tear you shed in private was simply heaven's masterful way of perfectly aligning you with this exact second in time. These 10 seconds were never just a warning of scarcity, they were a powerful prophecy being fulfilled. And you, right now, are living fully inside the manifestation of that prophecy. The guardians are begging and pleading with such passion because they can see clearly what remains hidden behind the veil from human eyes. They behold blessings so immense, so overwhelmingly golden and abundant, that if you fully understood their weight and magnitude, you would fall to your knees in reverent awe and gratitude. But they also perceive the subtle trap set by distraction, the tiny lies whispered by doubt into your ear, all designed to make you question and turn away. That is why their urgency burns like an unquenchable fire in their voices, why they refuse to remain silent. Beloved, pause for a moment and reflect deeply on your past. Recall those critical times when you stood at the brink of giving up entirely, when your inner strength had dwindled to nothing more than a fragile thread, yet somehow, by divine grace, you kept moving forward, you kept breathing, you kept hoping against hope. Somehow, even when you felt utterly broken and beyond repair, you woke up to face another day. Do you know the true reason why? It was because these very guardians were carrying you tenderly when your own feet had no strength left to stand. And now, those same devoted guardians are declaring with resolute conviction, we did not carry you through all of that, through every valley and storm, only for you to miss or forfeit this pivotal moment of victory. Their magnificent wings are fully spread, their swords of light drawn and gleaming, as they guard your destiny like the most priceless treasure that no thief or enemy can ever touch or steal. But they need your active participation, they need you to listen attentively, to open your spirit as wide as possible, because heaven does not force miracles upon anyone. Heaven offers them freely, with open hands, and right now that offer is glowing before you like a brilliant flame piercing the deepest darkness. Step toward it without fear, my cherished one. Step forward with bold faith. For hesitation speaks the language of loss and delay, but unwavering faith is the master key that unlocks every door of victory. There are profound divine secrets being revealed even in this extended moment, secrets that have been carefully hidden from your enemies, from those who arrogantly thought they could predict or orchestrate your downfall. They observed your struggles from afar and whispered judgments behind your back, but they had no knowledge of the grand designs heaven was weaving on your behalf. They mistook your tears and trials for permanent weakness, but heaven collected those tears as precious seeds for a future harvest. And now, that long-prepared harvest is fully ripe and ready. These guardians are not present merely to offer temporary comfort or platitudes. They are here on a divine mission to announce, to proclaim with authority, that what was buried deep in loss is about to rise triumphantly. That what was unjustly stolen from you will soon be restored multiplied. That what was locked away or seemed forever lost is about to be placed gently back into your open arms. But listen very carefully, beloved, for this announcement comes attached to a specific window of divine opportunity. These sacred seconds represent fragile yet powerful moments where your spirit must actively choose to believe, to lean fully into faith rather than fear. Because once this particular window begins to close, the same echo and intensity will not be repeated in exactly this way again. Do you feel that deeper trembling rising within your spirit as these truths sink in? That trembling is not fear, it is profound recognition. It is your soul awakening to the reality that it already knew, on some deep level, that this moment was coming, that it has been destined all along. You may not have had clear words to express it before, but you felt it in those quiet, introspective hours when your heart longed for something greater, something more meaningful. You felt it when you whispered prayers into the night, uncertain if anyone was truly listening, and yet, God was listening intently. Heaven heard every word, and now heaven is answering with power. The guardians are bending low, drawing nearer than ever, their voices woven with threads of urgency and love, saying tenderly yet firmly, "Child of eternal light, this is unequivocally your time." The winds of divine change are circling your life with increasing speed. And you are on the cusp of stepping into currents of favor and blessing that will carry you to heights and places you never dared to dream possible. Those doors that have felt locked for so long, sealed by disappointment or rejection, are beginning to creak open right now in the spiritual realm, but they will not remain ajar indefinitely. Do not allow hesitation or old wounds to close what heaven has sovereignly opened for you. Step forward in faith, because the miracle has already begun the very instant you said, yes, in your heart, even if it was just a quiet, tentative yes. My cherished one, I need you to deeply understand and grasp that your destiny is not an isolated, individual matter, it extends far beyond just you. The guardians are fighting so fiercely on your behalf because your life, your victory, your breakthrough will profoundly touch and heal countless others. Your triumph will serve as a key that unlocks long-awaited blessings for those who look up to you, those who are connected to your story. The enemy has labored tirelessly to convince you that you are small, unimportant, easily overlooked or discarded. But heaven knows better, heaven knows your true name, your true worth. Heaven has intimate knowledge of all the silent battles you have fought alone, the sacrifices you made without recognition, the deep wounds you covered with a brave smile for the sake of others. And that is exactly why these two guardians are pleading with such passion and persistence. Their pleas are not just for your personal sake, but for the sake of entire generations that your miracle will bless, influence, and redeem. Do you begin to see the vastness of this? This is far bigger than your individual story. This is about legacy, about divine inheritance. This is God Himself writing an epic, redemptive story through your life that will send ripples of hope and transformation across time itself. And right now, at this very second, the ink of that story is still wet, glowing with heavenly light, waiting patiently yet eagerly for your resounding yes to complete the next chapter. I must remind you once more, with gentle insistence, to stay connected, not just to these words on a screen, but to the living lifeline of faith they carry. Heaven does not dispatch messages with this level of urgency and detail without profound purpose behind it. If you are here reading this, absorbing this, it is because God has personally chosen you for this moment, for this revelation. And every future reminder, every divine message that comes through this channel, is designed to keep you spiritually awake, alert, and alive to the ever-unfolding miracles surrounding your life. Subscribe with your whole heart and stay near, stay engaged. For Archangel Michael will not always knock with this same intensity or urgency. When the fullness of time arrives and the divine window begins to shift, only those who have remained close, watchful, and open will hear the continued whispers of heaven even in the quieter seasons that follow. Let this extended moment become a sacred covenant, a binding agreement between you and God, that you will not walk away prematurely, that you will not forget the truths revealed here, that you will remain open, expectant, watching, and ready for what is to come. Because what is now unfolding in your life will shock you in the most beautiful ways. It will be sudden in its arrival. It will be undeniable in its power. And it all truly begins the moment you decide, not to skip, not to disengage, not to walk away, but to stay, to receive, to believe with your whole being. My precious child, in this very instant, there are two powerful realms actively pulling at your spirit for dominance. One is the heavy weight of doubt and despair, the voice that insists nothing will ever truly change, that tomorrow will mirror the pain of yesterday in endless repetition. But the other realm is heaven itself, glowing with an intense golden fire, whispering persistently and lovingly, everything can change dramatically in a single moment of faith if you will only dare to believe. This is precisely that moment of decision. The two guardians surrounding you are not begging or pleading in vain, they know with absolute certainty what has already been written about you in the unbreakable scrolls of eternity. They know that God has marked your name with irrevocable favor that no enemy, no circumstance, no power of darkness can ever erase or overturn. They know that the prolonged storm you have endured was never intended to destroy you but to reveal and solidify how utterly unshakable your spiritual foundation truly is when rooted in divine love. And they cannot, they will not, stand silent when the massive gates of blessing are swinging wide open, with only a few precious seconds left for you to courageously step through and claim what is yours. Do you remember those long nights when you lay awake wondering if anyone in the universe truly cared about your pain? When your silent prayers felt like they were vanishing into an endless void? Heaven cared deeply. Heaven heard every single one. Not a single word you spoke in despair was lost or wasted, it was all gathered tenderly, stored preciously, and brought directly before the throne of God for His attention and response. That is why this message carries such burning divine insistence today. Because those old prayers, Those cries from your heart that seemed ignored for so long, were never truly ignored, they were being saved, prepared, and perfected for exactly the right time to manifest. And that appointed right time is unquestionably now. The guardians are not merely whispering soft reassurances anymore. They are pleading with passionate desperation because heaven has declared this season as the one where those long-held prayers will finally bloom into vivid, tangible reality. You may feel unprepared for what is coming. You may feel unworthy or inadequate in light of such grace. But beloved, divine grace has absolutely nothing to do with your worthiness and everything to do with God's infinite, unconditional love for you. The guardians see what your natural eyes cannot yet perceive, that the doors ahead are opening not only for your personal blessing but for everyone connected to your destiny, your family, your loved ones, your future generations. That is why you must not skip or turn away now. Close your eyes gently for a moment and allow yourself to picture this heavenly vision, a vast, glorious table set in the grand halls of heaven, covered from end to end with treasures beyond imagining, breakthroughs, healings, restorations, overflowing love, and abundant provision. Each priceless item glows with pure divine light, and each one is personally tagged, inscribed with a name in living fire. And there, shining most brightly, written in flames of glory, is your name. These are not gifts prepared for someone else more deserving. They are unequivocally yours by divine decree. But the guardians issue a loving warning: if you turn away now, if you allow waves of doubt to silence your faith, the table may remain untouched, the blessings prepared but unclaimed. The blessings are fully ready and waiting, but they require your active, yes, your willingness to believe in what cannot yet be seen with physical eyes. The two guardians stand with trembling hands and hearts full of urgency, begging you earnestly not to leave this heavenly table untouched, not to walk away hungry when the feast has been spread specifically for you. Take it all, beloved, they cry. Step forward boldly, open your spirit wide, and claim what God Himself has lovingly and meticulously prepared for you from the foundation of the world. This is not mere fantasy or wishful thinking. This is heaven's eternal reality actively breaking into your earthly life in this very extended moment. Beloved soul, there is a profound reason why the enemy fought against you so relentlessly and viciously in recent seasons. There is a divine purpose behind why everything felt heavier than ever before, darker, more confusing, more exhausting. It is because you are drawing ever closer to this critical divine gate, this portal of breakthrough, and darkness always launches its fiercest attacks against what heaven treasures and values most highly. You are not weak for feeling weary after such battles. You are not faithless for experiencing moments of deep doubt along the way. You are beautifully human, and even in those cracks and vulnerabilities, heaven saw exquisite beauty and potential. The guardians know intimately how dangerously close you came to completely giving up, to surrendering your hope. And that is precisely why their urgency is so palpable now. Because the very moment when you were closest to surrender was, in reality, the moment you were nearest to your greatest breakthrough. This burning urgency is not a form of punishment or pressure, it is divine rescue. It is a heavenly intervention to rescue you from the tragedy of missing what eternally belongs to you. And I, Archangel Michael, stand with my sword raised high in victory, declaring boldly over your life, no more delays, no more unnecessary losses. The chosen one must hear this clearly. The chosen one must rise triumphantly now. My child, Do you sometimes view your life story as ordinary, unremarkable, perhaps even cursed or overlooked? Heaven sees something entirely different. Heaven has been patiently weaving a breathtaking tapestry from every thread of your pain, your fleeting joys, your unanswered questions, and your precious tears. And that tapestry, when viewed from heaven's eternal perspective, is radiant beyond description, more beautiful and intricate than you could ever imagine on your own. The guardians behold it in its fullness and stand in marvel. You have no idea how many other destinies, how many lives, how many futures, are inextricably tied to your obedience, to your refusal to quit. How many people will be profoundly touched, healed, and inspired because you chose not to give up entirely, because you chose to stay engaged, to keep reading, to keep believing even when you could have easily walked away in despair. You are not just one isolated person struggling alone. You are a divine ripple, a catalyst for widespread change. And this message is not solely about your personal journey, it is about everyone whose life will be forever altered when your miracle finally manifests in full view. That is why the guardians plead with such depth. That is why they beg so earnestly. Because if you close this now, if you disengage prematurely, the strength of that ripple weakens dramatically. But if you stay present, if you open your heart fully and without holding back, the wave of blessing will crash forward with power, covering and redeeming entire generations. My cherished one, always remember this eternal truth: God is never a God of mere coincidence or random chance. You did not stumble upon this message by accident amid the billions of souls and endless content in this world. There are countless voices and messages vying for attention, yet this specific divine transmission was sovereignly placed directly in front of you at exactly the right time. That is masterful orchestration from the throne, not luck or happenstance. And if heaven has gone to such lengths to orchestrate your steps leading precisely here, do you not see how much greater, how much more magnificent the orchestration is that awaits you on the other side of this moment? The guardians whisper continually of sudden, divine changes on the horizon, of doors you believed were forever shut now swinging wide open without warning, of people who once ignored or undervalued you now being sovereignly commanded by heaven to notice, to honor, to restore. They speak in excited tones of divine reversals where everything that was weaponized against you will be miraculously turned and used for your overwhelming favor and advancement. But their loving warning remains steadfast: do not let this sacred opportunity slip through your fingers. These seconds are not just about the ticking of time, they are fundamentally about choice. Choose faith over chronic doubt, belief over paralyzing fear, decisive action over endless hesitation. For in that empowered choice lies the true unlocking of everything heaven longs, with eager anticipation, to release into your waiting hands. My child, listen now with the ears of your spirit more than ever. The guardians are standing closer to you than they have ever been before in your journey. Their vast wings are stretched wide in protection, enveloping you in a cocoon of brilliant light that actively pushes back the encroaching shadows trying to wrap around your life and future. You may not perceive them with your physical eyes, but your spirit knows their tangible presence beyond any doubt. That sudden warmth rising in your chest, that unexpected heaviness welling up in your eyes as tears form, that strange yet compelling inner pull urging you to keep reading, to stay engaged, these are not random accidents or emotional fluctuations. They are clear confirmations, divine signposts, that heaven has perfectly orchestrated this entire moment for you alone. You are being marked anew, beloved, marked for unbreakable protection, marked for imminent breakthrough, marked for blessings so abundant and evident that they will shock even those who once doubted you most deeply. Do not think small or limit your expectations, for God never sends his angels on errands in vain. When they arrive with this level of urgency and detail, it is because something truly monumental is shifting dramatically in the unseen spiritual realm, something that will very soon touch and transform the visible, tangible world you walk in daily. My child, listen carefully once more. The guardians are standing closer than ever before. Their wings enfold you protectively, their light repels every shadow. Though unseen physically, your spirit senses them undeniably. That inner warmth, those tears, that pull to continue, these are orchestrated confirmations. You are marked for protection, breakthrough, shocking blessings. Never think small, divine missions are purposeful. Urgency signals massive unseen shifts soon manifesting tangibly. You have carried heavy burdens in silence for far too long, my beloved. Others may have admired your outward strength, but they never saw the private nights when you crumbled inwardly, overwhelmed by grief. They did not witness the mornings when you had to force yourself to rise and face another day, or the quiet moments when you wondered if your prayers were merely bouncing off the ceiling, unheard and unanswered. But the guardians saw everything. God saw everything. Heaven carefully collected every tear in sacred bottles, recorded every cry in eternal ledgers. That is why this message arrives today with such profound divine insistence, because the long season of carrying burdens without visible answers is finally drawing to its blessed close. The two guardians are not pleading solely for their own sake or duty. They are pleading passionately for you, for your freedom and fulfillment. They see clearly that the harvest of your faithfulness is now fully ripened, that the blessings prepared specifically for you are heavy with promise, completely ready, eagerly waiting to be released. But they also see how even a moment's hesitation can delay what heaven intends to be immediate and overwhelming. That is why they plead so earnestly, child of heaven's light, open your heart completely and do not walk away now. Do not underestimate the eternal weight and importance of these sacred seconds. They represent a divine crossroads, a pivotal choice, to continue in old patterns of doubting or to finally, fully embrace belief. To keep holding on to pain as a familiar shield or to courageously release it and step boldly into the deep healing that heaven is pouring out in abundance. The guardians are shaking the very foundations of heaven with their fervent voices, shouting triumphantly, "Do not delay any longer, for even now divine alignments are actively happening behind the scenes. People you have not yet met are being stirred supernaturally, with your name placed upon their hearts by God Himself. Opportunities that seemed dead are turning decisively toward you. The winds of favor are shifting directions to carry provision, healing, and breakthrough directly into your home and life. You may not feel the full impact yet in your emotions or circumstances, but remember, faith always precedes sight. You must choose to believe before you see the evidence, to trust deeply before you can hold the promise in your hands. This is the sacred posture that consistently unlocks miracles. This is why heaven has perfectly timed this message for you, so you would be equipped and ready not to miss the divine window when the gates of blessing swing fully open. Beloved, I, Michael, am not speaking lightly or casually here. I am the mighty warrior of heaven, the steadfast guardian of all God's chosen ones across the ages. And I tell you plainly, with full authority, you have been specifically targeted by forces of darkness precisely because of the brilliant light and destiny you carry within. You have been attacked not because you are weak or insignificant but because you are powerfully destined, a threat to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy sought desperately to silence your voice, to bury you under mountains of discouragement, to convince you once and for all that your prayers were meaningless and powerless. But do you see the truth now? If you were truly meaningless or powerless, the enemy would never waste his weapons or strategies on you. You are immensely valuable, divinely chosen, eternally marked for greatness, and I have been sent to sever every cord of heaviness, every chain of oppression tied around your life and future. You have cried out in anguish, "Why me? Why all this opposition?" And the answer from heaven is clear and resounding, because your story is destined to magnificently display the glory and power of God. Because your life will become a living, breathing testimony that no force of darkness, no matter how fierce, can ever stand against heaven's sovereign decree over you. My child, picture this vivid heavenly scene, the guardians holding aloft a brilliant lamp that illuminates the darkest, most hidden parts of your path ahead. That divine lamp reveals what has been concealed from you until now, secret doors camouflaged in the shadows, doors leading to brand new beginnings, fresh seasons of joy and purpose. Doors that your enemies attempted to cover, to block, to convince you did not even exist. Those doors belong to you by divine right. And the guardians are urgently saying, "Step quickly and confidently forward, for the light of revelation is shining brightly now, but shadows will attempt to cover them again if you wait too long. If you hesitate and delay, the enemy will try once more to obscure your path. But if you step forward in faith right now, you will walk straight into rooms and seasons where your name has already been spoken with deep honor and expectation by heaven itself. You will enter into blessings that have been pre-signed and sealed with your unique destiny. Heaven's timing is never late or mistaken, but heaven also honors free will and calls for an active response from the heart. This is not a message intended to be skimmed quickly and forgotten amid the noise of life. It is a divine call to action, to trust wholeheartedly, to align your spirit fully with the heavenly clock that has now struck your name into this sacred hour of manifestation. Beloved soul, do not allow the constant noise and distractions of the world to drown out or dilute this eternal truth. You have been pulled in many directions by voices insisting you are not enough, that you are forgotten, that your story is doomed to remain unchanged. But heaven's voice is infinitely louder when you tune your heart to hear it. God's love runs infinitely deeper than any pain you have known. And right now, the guardian's plea is rising above and echoing beyond every lingering doubt or fear. Listen intently. Listen again and again. They are not here to manipulate emotions or play games with your heart. They are here on urgent assignment to deliver what has been delayed for too long. They are here to boldly proclaim that the cycle of repeated loss is irrevocably breaking. The heavy chain of disappointment and setback is snapping apart link by link. The long season of divine silence is ending forever. You are stepping courageously into a glorious new chapter where answered prayers will flow so abundantly, so continuously, that you will scarcely be able to contain or count them all. But this abundance is conditional upon your choice, not to skip away, not to disengage, but to stay present, to remain open, to declare quietly or boldly in your heart right now, "Yes, Lord, I am ready. I receive." My child, there are profound moments in every life when everything appears deceptively still and unchanged on the surface, yet deep underneath, in the unseen spiritual realm, rivers are dramatically shifting course, immovable mountains are being supernaturally moved, and individual destinies are colliding in divine appointments. That is exactly where you find yourself positioned right now. On the outside, your daily routines may still look painfully similar to yesterday, but in the unseen realm, absolutely everything has been stirred into motion because heaven has sovereignly marked this extended hour as unequivocally yours. Do you feel that quiet yet persistent inner pull, that whisper in your soul refusing to let you go or give up? That is not mere imagination or wishful thinking. That is the guardians pressing earnestly upon your heart, reminding you over and over that the divine clock of heaven has reached your name and is now striking with power. They are begging and pleading not because you are inherently weak or unworthy, but because the sheer weight and magnitude of what is coming toward you is too immense, too glorious to ignore or treat lightly. They do not want you to mistakenly dismiss this holy interruption as just ordinary words on a page or screen. They long for you to fully recognize that God Himself has personally ordered and orchestrated this moment exclusively for you, tailoring every detail to your unique journey. Beloved, your pain was never, ever wasted or meaningless. Every trial you endured with quiet courage, every betrayal you suffered that cut deeply, every tear you swallowed in silence when no one else noticed, all of it was being masterfully woven into a far greater, redemptive story that only heaven could design. The guardians witnessed it all in real time. They saw when you carried burdens far too heavy for any one soul to bear alone, when you stood tall and smiled outwardly while your heart was quietly breaking inside. And they also saw how you kept walking forward anyway, how you refused to give up completely even when surrender felt like the easier, more tempting path. That is why they are here now with such heightened urgency, because the long season of shaping and refining through trials is finally concluding, and the season of rising, shining, and thriving is dawning brightly. You are no longer merely surviving day to day. You are about to truly thrive in every area. But you must choose to stay open and receptive. You must choose to believe wholeheartedly that every past loss, every heartache, will be supernaturally transformed into beauty and blessing beyond anything your mind has previously imagined possible. My cherished one, do you understand why Archangel Michael himself has been personally sent with this message? Because the spiritual battle surrounding your life and destiny was far fiercer and more intense than you ever fully realized. The dark forces that attempted to choke out your joy, to permanently silence your voice and calling, to completely break your faith and hope, they were not minor or insignificant. They were massive, coordinated assaults from the enemy. But infinitely greater and more powerful was the direct command from God: protect this precious one at all costs. Guard this irreplaceable destiny with everything. And so I, Michael, raised my sword of flame and fought victoriously, cutting down and defeating what you never even saw coming against you, vanquishing hidden hunters that stalked your progress. That is why you are still standing here today despite every attempt to take you out. That is why the enemy ultimately failed in his plans. And now, I stand before you proclaiming with triumphant authority, it is time to walk forward without fear. It is time to confidently claim what was fiercely fought for and won on your behalf in the heavenly realms. Do not let lingering fear hold you back now at the finish line. Do not let weariness silence your resounding yes. The angels fought relentlessly for this exact moment of victory. Will you not now fight with your faith to fully receive what heaven is freely giving? Beloved child, I know intimately how weary you have become from the long wait. You have prayed fervently and often felt only silence in reply. You have knocked persistently on doors that remain stubbornly closed season after season. But divine silence never means divine absence or indifference. The guardians were actively preparing your answers behind the scenes, and God was meticulously aligning every detail of your steps with timing so perfect, so precise, that even one day earlier would have been prematurely soon. This is why they plead with you now in this extended moment, because the divinely appointed time has finally, undeniably arrived. The heavenly clock has struck your name with resounding clarity. And what once seemed endlessly delayed will now rush toward you like a mighty flood breaking free, sudden in its power, overwhelming in its abundance, completely undeniable in its reality. You will look back on this season one day and marvel, realizing that the waiting was actually an act of divine mercy, because what is now coming required your deeper growth, your refined strength, your proven resilience to fully carry and steward it well. The guardians beg you not to walk away now, not to entertain doubt at this final hour. Because the very moment your faith rises fully and without reservation, the massive dam will break, and waves of blessing will pour forth without measure or end. Beloved child, I know how weary you have become from waiting. You prayed and felt silence as reply. You knocked and doors stayed closed. But silence is not absence. Guardians prepared answers, God aligned timing precisely, one day earlier too soon. Hence pleading now, appointed time arrived. Heavenly clock struck your name. Delayed now flood sudden, overwhelming, undeniable. Looking back, waiting was mercy, incoming required your growth, strength, resilience. Guardians beseech no walking away, no doubting now. Moment faith rises, dam breaks, blessings pour measurelessly. My cherished, think deeply of nights you questioned if prayers mattered at all. Guardians carried each throne ward. None fell empty. None vanished. All planted as seeds. Though unseen, they grew in heavenly soil. Now guardians proclaim, harvest ready. Gather now. Do not let enemy trick you into abandoning field just before fruit appears. Stay in this moment. Stay in faith, heaven ready to hand what seemed eternally lost. Guardians tremble knowing how close you are, how fragile yet vital this window, how crucial your yes. Not casual begging. Desperate, your destiny too precious to lose, too great for further delay. This is your season, beloved. My child, you wonder why unexplainable pull feels so strong now. Why heart beats heavier absorbing these truths? Because your spirit comprehends what mind lags behind. Your soul recognizes heaven's voice speaking directly. Guardians activate dormant places within, unlock memories of forgotten promises, stir hope reduced to ashes into fresh flame. They shout joyfully, wake up fully, beloved. The promises are alive and active. Do not let despair blind you longer. Do not let disbelief mute what God spoke over you long ago. For even now guardians place crowns of victory upon your head, garments of favor upon your shoulders, scrolls of destiny into your hands. All they ask, believe, listen deeply, stay present long enough for miracle to fully envelop you. My cherished child, imagine standing at edge of great river after years on its banks, thirsty, longing, watching waters flow endlessly past without touching you. Today guardians proclaim boldly, "Step in now, beloved. The river is finally, fully for you." Waters rush with blessings, healing, long-awaited answers. They will not drown, they will carry and elevate you. Hence begging because current moves powerfully now. Delay risks missing wave designed specifically to lift you higher than ever. Guardians cry, doubt no more. Turn back no more. Know that in one bold step of faith, everything changes forever. Years of thirst quenched in single moment, what felt eternally dry overflows with abundance beyond imagination. My child, heavens watch you intently now. Do you realize how infinitely precious you are to God? Even when you felt invisible on earth, you were radiant in heaven's sight. When people overlooked or undervalued you, heaven highlighted and celebrated you. When others judged harshly by visible mistakes, God looked deeper and saw your eternal destiny shining through. Hence guardian's urgency. World may have underestimated you greatly, but heaven never has, not for a moment. They cry out, "Rise now, beloved. Rise and claim boldly what belongs to you by divine right." Your true value comes not from human opinions, status, or wealth, but from the very breath of God living and moving within you. And that divine breath is stirring powerfully now, awakening dormant power inside you that no enemy can ever suppress again. Guardians press you forward because season of hiding and diminishment is over forever. The world is about to witness the light God placed within you shine brighter than ever before, illuminating everything around you. Beloved, there is something profoundly sacred about this exact, extended moment. Heaven feels closer than usual. The veil between realms is thinner than it has been in a long while. The guardians are nearer to you than they have ever been in your entire journey. This is not random coincidence or luck. It is a divine appointment set before the foundation of the world. You may wonder why you suddenly feel goosebumps rising, why your chest feels heavy with emotion, why your eyes well up with tears for no apparent reason. It is because your spirit instantly recognizes what your mind is still catching up to, that you are standing on holy ground right now. The guardians whisper reverently, "Do not take this lightly. Do not treat this as ordinary words, for this moment carries the full weight of eternity within it. What you choose to do with these revelations will echo throughout your future days and years. Stay present, my cherished one. Stay engaged until the very end. Because every single line you read, every truth you absorb, is another golden thread pulling you deeper into God's perfect plan, into a miraculous story so extraordinary that even your former enemies will be left speechless, unable to comprehend how rapidly and completely everything changed for you. My child, I must remind you again of something absolutely vital for your faith. God never, ever loses track of His promises, no matter how much time passes on earth. You may have believed certain dreams died forever, that too many years slipped by, that your window of opportunity closed permanently. But heaven operates outside of time and never forgets a single word spoken over you. The guardians are begging with renewed passion because what you thought was permanently over is actually only about to truly begin in fullness. God has been faithfully saving and preparing the very best for the final chapters. The dreams you buried in disappointment will rise again, stronger, purer, more beautiful and aligned than before. Do not believe the enemy's lie that says it is too late for you. It is never too late with God. The guardians see what is coming and simply cannot remain silent. They are shouting with joy, hope again with fresh fire. Believe again without reservation. Trust again completely, because the God who began writing your story has no intention whatsoever of leaving it unfinished. He is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, and what He began in you, He will complete with glory that cannot possibly be denied or diminished. Beloved one, do you feel that deep pull in your soul right now? That is not fear or uncertainty. It is holy recognition. Your spirit knows instinctively that these words are not mere human language or motivation. They are living waters flowing directly from the throne of heaven. Each sentence, each paragraph is intentionally designed to awaken something profound and dormant deep inside you. The guardians plead because they know the distractions of the world are loud and relentless, but they also know with certainty that your spirit is infinitely stronger when aligned with truth. They know that if you stay engaged, if you drink deeply and fully from this extended message, your life will shift in ways that no power of darkness can ever stop or reverse. They are proclaiming boldly, do not give up now at the threshold. Do not silence your soul's knowing. Keep listening attentively because the miracle is not waiting at some distant end of the message, it is actively happening right now as you open your heart wider. Already, unseen chains are breaking and falling away. Already, fresh strength and vitality are entering your weary bones. Already, your destiny is drawing nearer with unstoppable momentum. And this, beloved, is only the glorious beginning of what is to come. My cherished, you have been faithful in countless ways you do not even fully recognize yet. Every time you chose kindness in the face of cruelty. Every time you forgave when it hurt deeply. Every time you prayed when surrender felt easier. You were sowing eternal seeds into heavenly soil. And now heaven has decreed that it is undeniably harvest time for you. The guardians arrive with this urgency because the reaping season has officially begun. They behold the path ahead loaded with blessings ready for immediate delivery. They know that if you lose focus now, if you walk away too soon, those blessings could remain untouched and unclaimed. And so they beg with everything within them, please stay spiritually awake, beloved. Please do not skip or dismiss what you have waited and prayed for your entire life. You may not yet see the fields blooming visibly, but the guardians see it clearly from heaven's vantage point. And they simply cannot stay silent when the miracle you have prayed for fervently is finally blooming right at your feet, ready to be gathered. This is your divine reward, beloved. This is your long-awaited moment of triumph.